Good morning. I've got my man Jay here with me. We are in the driveway today. You don't get all the way in the garage at the driveway because we have too many trucks that don't fit in the garage. So we are going to compare these three air compressors this morning. I've got the Pittsburgh Automotive, which is the Harbor Freight brand. I found like 5 different part numbers online for this thing. So I guess depending on what store you go to, you can get a different part number, but they all kind of claim to be the same thing. At the time of this recording right now, this is $69. I bought this probably 6 months ago, been using it, been mostly happy with it. I'll get into some other things that I don't like about it and what it does well or what it doesn't do well. Then we have the Ironman, and excuse me, hand me that thing.
Oh, I got the cheat sheet.
I gotta get my cheat sheet out because I'm old and I can't remember all this stuff. So we have the Ironman Air Champ Pro. And actually on the website, it's listed as the Air Champ Pro 5.65 CFM. Reason for that is this is rated at 5.65 CFM of airflow, right? Cubic foot per minute, right?
Okay,
That's something like that. This one here, the Harbor Freight, is a measly little, and I've got my 1.35 CFM, okay? So this is rated 1.35 CFM and a max pressure of 150 PSI. The Ironman is also rated 150 PSI at that 5.65. And then the third one we're gonna test today, the Big Daddy, the one that has the big question mark and I'm super excited about, which I also just bought about a week ago, is the new Maxi Trac, which is Napa's brand. Everybody's familiar with the Maxi Trac awning, right? This awning that everybody's buying right now because it's $100 and it is an identical copy of like an ARB. Everyone loves it. Everybody says so happy about it. Well, I happened to be on Napa's website the other day. I don't remember what I was looking for, but I saw this air compressor and was like, oh my God, look at that thing, right?
It's beefy.
So this is the one that Jay just got, and this was actually included in, he bought a new suspension system from Ironman for his truck, and they included this compressor like, hey, here's a compressor. I know you're gonna need it with your bigger tires. So I was all excited about this, and he was all excited about it. He got this, I don't know, a couple months ago or something.
2-3 months ago.
Right. Like and at that 5.65 CFM, we're like, woohoo, this is the greatest thing in the whole world, right? And then I see this, right? And this thing, I have to turn the page so I'm exact on this. This is rated, on the website, they refer to 300 liters per minute, right? Converted that over, that's 10.59, so almost 10.6 CFM. So effectively
Almost
double of what the Ironman is doing. And it kind of makes sense because looking at the two, the Maxitrac just visually, and I don't have part numbers for motors or compressors or anything like that, but visually, this just looks like a two-headed version of the Ironman. What I'm wondering is, I have no doubt whatsoever that these are going to air up faster than this one, right? We're gonna test them all and we're gonna time them. But without question, this is gonna be the slowest. But I'm wondering if these two have the same electric motor in them, right? But this one has to perform double the work because it has 2 heads. Does that mean it's gonna spin half as fast? And even though the physical dimensions of the compressor heads and whatever are capable of running double the CFM, is it actually going to cut the airtime in half? I have no idea. The other 2 compressors that I really wish I had sitting here with me, we've got a little bit of experience because Jay used to have his Vi Air and it was the 88P model, which right now, the pricing on that 88P is $79. So it's $10 more than the Harbor Freight, and it's listed at 1.47 CFM versus the 1.35. So they're very close to being the same. And
I mean, for what it is, it aired the tires up pretty quickly. By the time I got to the 4th tire, it would struggle a little bit, but I mean, for the $69, $79, I mean, at the time it was a great deal. But now we're about to find out with the Maxi Trac.
We're about to find out. But yeah, when he and I would air up on the side of the trail, it would take almost exactly the same amount of time.
They perform similar.
Yeah, real similar. So I forgot to mention the pricing on these two. Right now, and there's 25% off sales and whatever, but this morning I went onto their website and this is selling for $199.
The price on it, wow.
They did. So this is now 200 bucks. And I think at the moment they may have a 25% off, like everything on the website sale going on.
They always have at least a 20 from my experience, but sometimes 25 as well.
Right.
So I would assume this month, upcoming month, November, Black Friday, they're going to have some crazy sales.
Yeah, so Black Friday, definitely take a look at all this stuff. But as that goes, this is priced at $199. The Maxi Trac. Woohoo! At full pop, full bang, no sale, no discount, no nothing. Just go to your local store and order it up, or maybe they have one sitting on the shelf. $114. That's crazy cheap, okay?
That's a deal.
And when I went on the website, they had this offer going that, hey, if you sign up for text alerts on your phone, we'll give you a $20 discount. And then if you sign up for, their rewards program, get another $5. So I bought the thing for 90 bucks, right? So for what, $20, because this was 70 bucks. Yep. So for $20 more than that one, I get this giant thing and it's this big and it's got two heads and
which would no doubt outperform this one.
Yeah, so happy. The way we're gonna do the testing today is all of these come with different equipment, like this one here comes with this horrible, I hate it, horrible coiled plastic hose. Can't stand it. And in fact, it actually exploded on me once we were using it. It just bang, and I had to cut it and repair it. Hate that thing. Both of these compressors come with the same type of just straight rubber hose. It's not all coiled up. I believe them to be the same length. The Maxi Trac is quoting that it's a 25-foot length. I couldn't actually find a listing on the Ironman for how long the hose is. I'm assuming it's the same.
It's going to be pretty close.
Yeah, they look very much the same. But in efforts of science, we're going to air these up. I'm going to take the valve core out of this tire so it's down to flat, dead, nothing. No air left in that tire. And one by one, we're going to air these up to 40 PSI. Okay. With no valve core and whatever. And I'm going to use, because they all have the same air hose fitting on them, I'm going to use the same hose on all of these, just so that you know, well, maybe that hose is different, whatever.
It's a nice controlled test.
That's right.
The only thing changing is the actual compressor.
We are science.
Scientists.
Science, bitches! I'm also going to have the truck running so that we can't say there was any discrepancy in battery voltage. Typically, when I'm on the side of the road and I'm airing up, I don't have the truck running, I just plug it. But, you know, let's say we run it on this one and run it on that one. Now maybe the battery's at 12.4 instead of 12.6. So to eliminate that, I'm just going to have the truck running. Let's go ahead and get this started.
Let's air it down. Our last URA trip, it gummed up.
So, I won't make you watch this. We actually just found, kind of comparing the hoses, which hose do we want to use? So the hoses look to be virtually identical. Yeah. However, I found on Jay's hose, it has this little release valve. So when you're there, you can, oh, I've got too much. Psh, 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 psh. You can kind of release some. This one doesn't. So advantage Ironman. So you can see here, we're starting first with the Pittsburgh. We've got it hooked up. We're actually going to just leave this hose on here, you know, full time, whatever. You can see there is no air in that tire. You can see it's completely flat there. So I'm going to go ahead and get the truck started so that we've got the battery voltage where we want. We'll turn it on, and Jay's going to use his phone to time the whole process. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Go. Okay. What do you got?
347.
All right, 347, which is actually, I think I probably have to be down here to talk to you. 347 is actually a little bit quicker than I expected. We were talking about it when I had the camera turned off, and my guess was, what did I say?
4 minutes?
4 minutes for this compressor. I was guessing 2.5 on the Ironman and 2 minutes on the Maxi Trac, but we'll keep going. I'm gonna get this tire flattened out and we'll get the next compressor lined up. Okay, so we're back to flat again, and now we're gonna test out the Ironman. Ready?
Yep.
already sound beefier. Like that one was, and this one, oh. Let's go.
All right, 237 for the Ironman. Chris, you've been pretty on it with your gappers so far. I just want to say that. Oh, it's so good now.
Okay, and now for the final test of the day. You ready over there?
Yep, I'm good.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and see what the Maxitrac double-headed Hydra thing will do. And go. Are you ready? Stop.
Wow. A minute 37 for the Maxi Trac from Napa.
Wow.
A whole
Look
minute
at that.
faster than the Ironman, and the Ironman is almost $100 more expensive.
Wow. All right, so we decidedly have a winner, okay? Our
Napa
winner.
special.
Yeah, the Napa spell. What'd you say? Don't sleep on Napa, right?
Don't sleep on Napa, apparently. All you overlanders out there.
Yeah, take note. All you overlanders like me that are broke and don't have no money, okay? So the official times, and I know you just saw them, but I've got them written down here, so I'll tell you anyway. The Harbor Freight Special came in at 3 minutes and 47 seconds. The Ironman, 2 minutes 37 seconds, and the Maxi Trac over there, 1 minute 37 seconds. That's not even close.
Significantly faster.
That is a clear winner. I tell you, that actually really impressed me. I thought maybe we'd get a 15-second difference, 30-second difference, something like that between the Ironman and the Maxi Trac, but really, that thing was putting in some work.
It performed.
If you're in the market for an air compressor, I would say definitely don't buy one of those, or the Viair, which we talked about the fact that Jay had a Viair for a while, and it was great. And in fact, this Pittsburgh unit, the Harbor Freight.
They absolutely work, and they will air up your tires.
Yeah, I'm not going to throw it away. I think it's actually going to end up in the trunk of Marla's Lexus. So when she goes on trips, if something happens, she's got it there. It works great. It functioned. The only problem I really had with it, other than, that stupid coiled up yellow air hose. It's over here. I hate it. Right there. Everybody look at it. Be mad at it. That hose actually popped on me once. We were airing up and I'm standing there just chatting with people. Boom! It exploded, right? And I think it's just because the hose end of this thing gets like thermonuclear temperatures. And it's down there running for so long. It takes so long to air up these 33-inch tires that it just overheats. So I think it started to melt that hose and it popped like right about here, right? So it wasn't right at the coupling, but it was just down from the coupling. And so I think it was just heat transfer, and that's what happened to that. However, every single time I've used this to air up all 4 tires, if we go down trails where we're on, fire roads, whatever, just dirt roads, I'll air down to something like 22, 23 PSI. It will air everything up from there, back up to 38, which that's where I run on the freeway. It'll air up just fine. When I drop down to 17 PSI to run on the trails, on the 4th tire, it turns off. It gets up to 35 PSI and like, no, I'm done. I've had enough. And you have to let it cool off for like 5 minutes before you can go about using it again. So that's kind of a bummer.
Probably should also mention, I never had that problem with the Viair.
Yeah.
It would always complete all 4 tires without shutting off, but by the end of that 4th tire, that thing was, you couldn't touch it. You just have to leave it, let it be for about 10 minutes before you can safely handle it, put it back in the bag and everything like that.
Yeah, and it's also worth noting that if all you want to do is compare that Viair, the 88P, to the Harbor Freight Special, it's worth noting that Jay runs 16-inch wheels and I've got 18-inch wheels. We both have 33-inch tires. So in theory, there is a higher quantity of air inside of Jay's tires. Exactly how much and the percentage, I couldn't tell you, but there's a little bit more. So what that says is the Viair is better than the Harbor Freight to a degree, to an extent. However,
with the price of this and the Viair around $70, $80,
yeah,
for $10 to $20 more after you calculate all the rebates and everything out, all the deals and sales, it's a no-brainer.
I completely agree. I don't know what else I could add to that. Like this Ironman compressor is awesome. but it's not as awesome as the Maxi Trac. You know, and like we say with the pricing, I say run out and get you one. And again, I spent my own money on this. Nobody sent me anything for free. Hey, test this out. And all of this testing, I mean, the one thing that we talked about is this is the first tire. All of these compressors were tested dead cold, right?
Yep.
Well, we've also noticed, like with his Viair and with this Harbor Freight, they slow down. So tire number 2, let's say tire number 1 takes 4 minutes. Tire number 2 might take 5. Tire number 3 might take 6, you know?
It gets longer and longer the hotter the compressor gets. It just doesn't work as efficiently.
Right. So with both of these compressors working so much more efficiently than the Harbor Freight or the Viair, now we want to test out, you know, the next time we go out on the trail, we want to test out tire number 4 and see how these two compare. So maybe we'll bring you an update video somewhere in the future. But for now, I am really impressed and surprised with that Maxi Trac. So thank you so much to Maxi Trac or to Napa for giving us great products. You know, they've got a number of different products available online. You can just go on their website, napaonline.com, I think.
Like that, yeah.
I'll put a link and go on there and just do a search for Maxi Trac. They got a whole bunch of stuff for us overlanders or, you know, guys who are going out camping, wheeling, whatever you want to call it.
Lewis has got 2 of the Maxi Trac.
Oh, does he?
It's on boat, one on each side of the truck. So yeah, I mean, I mean, and they work great. I mean, and for $100, I mean, honestly, it seems like all of this is pretty much made in the same place as
I think so.
Bigger name brands, but this is just not a big name brand, so you're getting to save quite a significant amount of money.
Right. So the only compressor that I wasn't able to test out today that I really wish I could have is the ARB dual compressor. That ARB compressor is really designed as a built-in unit, like you attach it to the truck. You don't put it into a little bag and throw it in your trunk and carry it around with you. It really kind of needs to be installed. But they're $600 or $598 or
It's
something.
expensive for the twin compressor. Yeah.
It's really expensive. They work great. One advantage that they have is they're listed at 100% duty cycle versus the 75% duty cycle that I have listed for the Maxitrac. And there's some weirdness going on with the Ironman. It says, well, 33% at 100 PSI, but I don't know how that translates to, we only run 40 PSI,
max
right?
40, so.
So I'm not exactly sure how that works out. But one of the problems with the ARB being installed like that, at $600, you don't get an air hose. You still have to figure out, you can get one of those Morflate systems that attaches everything together, or you can just put together your own kind of air hose for, you know, one tire at a time. You do things however you want, but that compressor is rated at 6 point, if I remember right, I'll put it in the thing if I get it wrong, but 6.2 CFM. So it's rated only a little bit more than the Ironman, and it's rated, you know, only a little bit more than half of what that Maxi Trac will do. And it's 6 times the price.
Yeah, I mean,
it looks cool, it sounds cool, and a good friend of mine actually has one, and I very much intend on doing a comparison test like this between my Maxi Trac and his ARB. Because even though it's rated at 6 or 10 or whatever, real world performance, how it actually airs up your tires, could be vastly different. So
also, those numbers are probably inflated a little bit on both ends and everything. So there's no telling how true and accurate those numbers really are.
And there isn't like a government sanctioning body that rates these things. Like, they're just rated by the manufacturers. So it's very easy for manufacturers to be able to manipulate raw data. So that's kind of what we wanted to avoid today. Like, there's no way to manipulate that I'm just sitting here airing up a tire from dead, and this is what they did. So I guess that'll about do it. You got anything you want to add to that?
No, that's about it. I feel like we summed everything up pretty well.
Okay. If you haven't done it already, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. Smash that like button and give us some comments. Ask us some questions. Do whatever it is. I always answer all of the comments and the questions, anything that I see down below. And we'll see you on the next one.
All right.
Am I still in frame?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're in frame. I mean, is this the whole thing? Like
Yeah,
oh yeah, I mean, you have the frame up to like the edge of this grill right here to here. So I mean, you're the whole thing is easily in there.
Well, come on over. You stand here.
Stand here.
Sound check. I mean, you can slap you. I can slap you.
Oh no.